So I pissed off somebody out there. Believe me, any of us, because there's other people even though they don't create videos. And again, I'm not creating a million videos, just one video is my response last night. It's not a reflection on Garrett or Johnny if I say they're not. The judges said it. That's the thing. Plus, who the fuck cares what I think or say? I wanted to see Blaine Hardy go through. I think he is a fantastic, phenomenal singer. When he first auditioned, you know, Blake said, I can see you making the, if you're not careful, you're going to make it to the top 10, but he was too shy. You know what I mean? I think Blaine probably outsang Johnny and Garrett. But he was too shy. And that's why the judges didn't pick him for the top 24. He came close. He came close. You know what I mean? They split up the people that were similar, too. I'm sorry, but if I watch this fucking show, I'm allowed to have an opinion. I'm not forbidden from having an opinion just because I can't. John Rappaport would have a field day with this person. Who are you to criticize an 18-year-old man? You couldn't do what he could do. He made it to the top 24. You already did. And I've repeatedly said, obviously, they're all phenomenal singers, okay? But just because I can't sing like him doesn't mean I can't believe he's not as good a singer as some of the ones that didn't get through. I mean, that's a totally, just absolutely invalid, irrational argument, okay? That's why John Rappaport says people can't think rationally. I have every right. It's just like anything. I'm not a model. I'm allowed, if there's some kind of competition, modeling competition or beauty pageant, whatever, I'm allowed to find one contestant more attractive than another and wonder why this person beat out this person on, say, I don't know, Tyra Banks' stupid show I watched a handful of times or something. You know what I mean? Just because you can't do what someone can do doesn't mean you can't have an opinion and disagree with the judges or say what I say. I stand my ground. The judge said it. They said it themselves. You know what I mean? Luke loved this Garrett, but he kept praising his looks, and he even said, Luke said it, you're not as strong a singer as the others, but man, are you a heartthrob. I mean, come on. I'm not being petty. I have a right to have an opinion. It doesn't matter if I can't sing like Garrett. I have a right to believe comparatively. Not comparatively to the whole world. Obviously, he made it to the top 24, and that's fantastic. I'm hardly the only one. I read a comment last night from somebody posting on an article or in a YouTube video or something or other that he's not going to win. Oh yeah, I think it was under a thing where he's saying he was better at the duet where he's saying Lucky than he was Treat Me Better, Shawn Mendes. I'm not impressed with him compared to some of the other singers. Not compared to the world of non-singers or the world, you know what I mean? There was someone pissed off, wrote under an article, they can't believe that Ada was chosen. Ada is fucking, in my opinion, a star. She is a fucking star without American Idol. She is mind-blowingly good. Okay? Alright? I'm sorry. I'm allowed to have an opinion. And to call me a toxic piece of crap and how dare I criticize an 18-year-old and crush his dreams. If he wants to be the next American Idol, he better deal with it. Because, you know what I mean? You're in the spotlight, you're going to get that. There are people who criticize actresses who I find so fucking unbelievably sexy and beautiful, okay? Where I'm in shock. How can you call this person unattractive? This person is drop-dead gorgeous, okay? But then there are people who are so irrational like this person, being like, if you don't find, I don't particularly find, the one who that I just watched in Welcome to Me. What's her name? I don't find her that attractive compared, you know, to other actresses. I don't. But so what? Same with Amy Schumer. So what? It doesn't change the fact that they're fucking superstars. Who, you know what I mean? Who cares if I or someone else don't find them? But people get mad. People take this shit so seriously. They get mad. Who are you? You're nothing. I'd like to see what you look like when someone's posting something. Who are you to criticize her? She's pretty. She's whatever. She's in the limelight, and we are comparing her to, say, other actresses, or if there's models compared to other models, or, you know what I mean? This person's the one with the problem, not me. I'm just responding to, I'm just getting into the friggin' show, okay, and giving my opinion. I gave my opinion last week, alright? I didn't think that Johnny and Michelle were as good as singers as some that didn't get through. And I also think if it was truly a singing competition, if they really wanted to be fair, they wouldn't care about the quota of boys and girls or variety or whatever, and it would just be the top 24, and then they're going to look at all 24 and then choose the top 14 and get rid of 10 off the bat, okay? So it is fixed a little bit. It doesn't mean that Garrett sucks. Has he ever blown the judges away? I don't know. But I do know that he didn't blow the judges away on either night. He's no Marcio. He's no Michael. He's no Ada. Okay? No, Ada's female. She's really a guy. You know? And that's why someone wrote in a comment, I knew when they brought I knew the judges were going to make a bad decision. Someone's probably going to rip that person apart. It's so ridiculous. What? So just because we can't do what someone can do, this is a competition, but we can't do what they can do. We don't look the way they look. We're not allowed to believe the judges got it wrong. I mean, come on, that's so irrational. That's so whatever. And to rip me apart and say I'm immature and I'm this and I'm that because I say the truth. Garrett is not, and I'm hardly the only one who feels that way, and even the judges said it. If the judges say about Garrett, you're not, you know, not even remotely as strong a singer as some of the other contestants, and then isn't that kind of a backwards compliment? Like for Luke to say, you're not as strong a singer, but man, are you a heartthrob? You know? And I wrote what I wrote, and somebody wrote, yeah, Luke is in love with him, that's why he got through. Okay? He certainly didn't get through on his singing chops because he's not even remotely as good as some of the other, I'm sorry, he's not. He's not. But I don't have a right to say that, and if I do, I'm an awful, horrible, terrible human being according to this person. I'm toxic. I'm immature. Who am I to cut down an 18-year-old dreams? Oh my God. Obviously he made it to the top 24. He doesn't suck. He beat out a shitload of other contestants. I wanted to see Blaine go through instead of him. Alright? But Blaine, even though Blaine's voice is just, you know, mind-blowing to me. Blaine was too shy, so he wasn't chosen, you know. But I'm not, I have a right to say this about this stupid show. It's a reflection on the show. I believe it is somewhat fixed. Not completely fixed, of course. I can't remember how good I did at predicting last week. And Maddie's fantastic. I didn't pick her to go home because I was trying to think what the judges would do. That's what I was trying to think. What the judges would do, who the judges would pick. But these ones that got let go, both last week and this week, they have to know they are not some of them are way better, in my opinion, and in the opinion of other people, way better than some of the ones that got through, number one. And number two, even if they're not way better, they're definitely equal, okay? I don't see certain contestants as being as strong of singers, right? I don't. They've struggled all along. Johnny and Garrett, they're heartthrobs, but they have struggled compared to some of the other singers who have just been effortless in their singing. I'm not a horrible person to point that out. These people choose to go on this show. These people want to be in this business. They're going to be criticized. There were stars on the show last night who apparently didn't get through to American Idol. Obviously, that didn't stop them. They wound up becoming stars or successful or whatever. I don't know who they are, but you know, but they didn't make it on American Idol. There are people that get through the cracks, right? That person that night, I don't know how good he was, but he got through because Katie was in a good mood, and all he had to do was sing Happy Birthday to her. Does that really show his chops, singing Happy Birthday? I don't think he was one that wound up making it that far. He made it to Hollywood Week, but how far did he make it after that? I'd have to watch the show again. I don't think he's one that made it that far. I don't think. But he got through singing Happy Birthday. Alright? That does not really show his range or whatever, how good. I didn't think he was that great singing the Happy Birthday, right? You know what I mean? Some of them, just if they have the sob story or just if the judges are in a good mood. How far did that one get they put through to Hollywood? I don't even think he made it to the rooms, being judged in the rooms. The one where, yeah, he has a fantastic story because he was crippled. He has this girlfriend that loves him, and he's persevered and this, that, or whatever. And he's saying, "Isn't she lovely?" And Katie was touching whatever. But some of the ones even that get put through to Hollywood, you kind of know they are not even remotely as good as some of the others, and you get proven right, and they get let go. Okay. Am I pissed off that Garrett got through and Johnny got through instead of ones that I think 100%, and I know even the judges have shared my sentiments, are much better singers? No, I don't give a shit. It's just a stupid show. My videos, I talk about everything. It's more of a reflection on this person that they have to rip me apart. I'm a horrible, horrible human being. So just to prove that I don't give a shit, and just to please this person, I took Garrett's name out of my title in my video, because I don't care, okay? I didn't create it to rip Garrett apart, okay? I know, and the judges have mirrored my sentiments. He's, you know, I was surprised that he was put through when even the judges have criticized him. It's not like they're like, who are you to judge someone on a song or two? Oh, please. He is not as good a singer as some of the others, period. He's not. Neither is Johnny, okay? They struggle. They are not. That doesn't mean they're not phenomenal singers compared to me, compared to a million other people. It means compared to the other contestants on the show. I have a right to my opinion. It doesn't make me a horrible person to say that. It's the truth. Jesus. And it's not like I'm saying it and the judges were blown away by him. They weren't. They weren't. When they're blown away by somebody, they'll say, oh, you kind of had a bad night. No. Luke said it. You are not one of our strongest singers, but man, are you a heartthrob. He said it. I heard him. How am I a horrible person to say in the end, yes, he made it this far, but now he has been put through over much better singers, period. God. People are so, like... Clearly that person's the one who has problems. To write that kind of shit to me, because I have the nerve to say the truth, that is, I don't feel is just my opinion, simply because the judges even said as much. You know? The judge who loved him, Luke, said, you are not one of our strongest singers. You're not our, but, you know, so no, I would not have expected him to go through. But I do believe that there's some, you know, nudging by producers on the judges that you need to pick a variety of people. We need to have a certain quota of both men and women. We want a variety of different things. And as far as I'm concerned, the producers may have actually intentionally split up the groups of 12. They put the 2 heartthrobs in separate weeks. Okay? I have a right. It's more of a reflection on this show. I don't have to pretend that I think Garrett's so wonderful just because he was put through to the top 24 and say he's up to on the same level as some of those other singers. Those other singers can blow him away voice-wise, period. And I have a right to say that, and I don't have to be a wonderful singer. I don't have to be a singer at all. I don't have to be able to anything. Just like I don't have to be a model or a beauty contestant to feel like if a judge, if I feel like someone goes through on that beats someone else who I think should have gotten it, you know? It's such an absolutely invalid, irrational argument, but people make it all the time. I see it and I laugh. I laugh. If you criticize somebody, like say if somebody didn't think Amy Schumer was so attractive, it doesn't mean she's not... you know, she's a writer, she's an actress, she's famous, she's this, that, or whatever. We don't have to find her super attractive to, you know, but people are saying, who are you to say that? I'd like to see what you look like. She's been, oh my God. Like, fuck you. People are entitled to an opinion. People don't have to, you can't say I can't have an opinion on something just because I don't look that way or I can't do what that person I'm criticizing can do. That's so irrational argument. And Joe would say, yeah, it's meant to just keep people in a little box and politically correct and not to say anything negative about anybody. Ever. Who are you to criticize? If he made it to the top 24, if him and Johnny made it to the top 24, then they are just as good as the other one singers. And who are you to think or say otherwise? Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. I only changed the title of my video to prove a point. Okay? Maybe I won't get other people like that if I just take him out of the title. They probably will, though. People are going to rip me apart for having the nerve to say what I know is the truth. It's not my opinion. I know it's the truth. The judges backed me up. Okay? The judges backed me up. He is not as good. These two they're heartthrobs. I believe they were intentionally put into 2 separate groups. I think it's rigged. I think it's rigged. I do. To a point. Not completely, but to a point. They're both underdogs, Johnny and Garrett. They're both struggling. They're both not as good as singers. I think that it's rigged. I think that they maybe were going to go through no matter what, and that's why one was put in one group of 12 and one was put in the other. Can I prove what I'm saying? No. Nobody knows the truth. It's a big secret. It's all big secret. This is all bullshit. I used to love Biggest Loser, okay? And all these years later, I find out that the doctor on that show is confessing that he gave people this like stimulants or something to lose weight. So that was a total, you know, that's a joke too. Biggest Loser turns out to be a joke. I couldn't even believe Bob Harper or whatever. I can't believe he's in such shape and he winds up having a heart attack. It's like, couldn't believe that, but you know what I mean? So I get disillusioned, and then you find out that's not anything to do with the show, it has to do with the human body, that it's really, really bad to lose that much weight that quickly. And you wind up fucking up your body where you put on the weight, like, and then you can't lose it. Like, your metabolism goes way, way down. So that's a double-edged sword. And then you find out they were cheaters. All these years later, okay? So don't tell me. These shows are rigged in some capacity. I 100% believe this American Idol is rigged in some capacity where the producers nudge the judges on who they want the judges to pick. End of story. Can I prove that? No! But I am entitled to my opinion. I am not a horrible person for saying that somebody who beat out other contestants, I and others believe a way better singer than I believe even the world at large would say it. Alright? And yes, I was in shock. I was in shock last week when Johnny got through. And I'm in shock this week when Garrett got through. Okay? I believe that those two went through and they are not even remotely as good as singers, as strong as singers, as some of the contestants who didn't get through. Period. 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 Okay? I'm entitled to my opinion. Doesn't make me a horrible person. According to this person who ripped me apart, you toxic garbage and I can't edit it. Oh my God. You're taking this fucking singing competition show way too seriously. You probably also think it can't possibly be rigged and producers can't possibly be nudging the judges in the direction the producers want. And, you know, no, I'm wrong. Whatever. That's to that person. Fuck you. I intentionally approved your comment and then I wrote my own response under it. I'm not going to get into back and forth with this asshole, though. So if the person wants to have an argument, it ain't going to happen. I just won't approve any more comments. Maybe the person will decide they don't want my rebuttal, and they'll just, you know, remove their comment, and then mine will go away anyway. Oh. So I probably should copy and paste it somewhere. Oh, it's too funny, people. Talk about taking something seriously. Too seriously, I mean. God, we made missile strikes on Syria, and it's possible, I'm not saying that it is true, but it's possible that it was not what people think it is, that Assad really wasn't behind it. I'm not saying that's true, I have no idea. But you know what I mean? Who the fuck cares if I believe that American Idol is somewhat rigged, that producers nudge the judges in the direction they want them to go, and that some who get through to the top 14 are not even remotely as good as some that don't get through. Right? Some. Not all. Most of who the judges picked are ones I would have picked. You understand? Most of them. So my top ones got through. Okay? Last week it was Michael, undoubtedly. Who else? I can't remember them now. Whatever. Anyway, this week it was Ada. Marcio, Mara, and Journey, who are just mind-blowingly good. Last week I thought the judges would pick Layla. She wasn't exactly my top pick. I just thought they would pick her, see? But I turned out to be wrong. But Gabby blew them away. She both, you know. I said I don't envy the judges. But there were certain ones. Am I a horrible person to also be saying that Ron? What if the judges had put Ron through? Okay? Ron's somebody who almost didn't get through to Hollywood. Ron only got 2 judges' votes, and at first he was told no, and then Lionel changed his mind, and he made it all the way to the top 24? Okay? You think there aren't absolutely phenomenal singers who did not make it to the top 24, and Ron did? Oh, please. Blaine can sing circles around Ron. So don't tell me that this isn't somewhat rigged. It is. It is somewhat rigged. I'm just saying, I believe it's somewhat rigged. I believe that the judges are nudged by the producers of the show. They are nudged on who to pick. I do. I 100% believe that. I don't believe it's their sole decision. I know that I'm not the only one who feels that way. But again, it's fucking whatever. The judges can do what they want. They can do what they want. Like I said, if they were really going to be fair, they would have the top 24 and listen to them all and then pick the top 14. They don't. They split them up into 2 groups. You're going to tell me that they do that randomly? I don't think they do. I think it is rigged to a point. And the fact is, I'm entitled to my opinion that I think it's rigged to a point, and I'm also entitled to believe certain contestants get through even to the top 24. Alright, there were way better contestants than Ron, and he made it to the top 24, okay? So, I have a right to my opinion. I'm not a horrible person, okay? But I could easily remove Garrett's name from the title of my video, so I did. I did. I committed a crime. Meanwhile, he should be so proud of himself he made it to the top 14 or the top 24 or whatever. Okay, now he's made it to the top 14. I don't think he deserved it, but whatever. He should be so proud of himself that he made it to the top 24, okay? But I'm crushing an 18-year-old dreams. I'm a horrible person. Come on. Please. I didn't create a video to rip Garrett apart. I created a video to point out the, I don't know what you call it, just the, I don't know what the word is, in these shows themselves. I believe they're somewhat rigged. Somewhat. Somewhat. I believe they're somewhat rigged. At the end. Not in the beginning. At the beginning, I believe those judges, they listen to people and they decide who to go to Hollywood. But once they're in Hollywood, or once we get higher up that ladder, then yeah, I think it's somewhat rigged. I think that they're supposed to pick certain ones, and that's why they even grouped them together, where they put, what was that one? The one who had the Down syndrome as her best friend. Syndrome kid as her best friend. Her, and they put her with, I guess, Effie, and then they were like similar, so they chose Effie over her, and then they put Blaine with Garrett, and chose Garrett over Blaine, and you know what I mean? So I think that it is somewhat rigged. I think the producers get to have, I think they have some influence over the judges. They're told to pick a certain amount of men and women. They're told to pick diversity and different styles and whatever to make it interesting. And I also believe 100% based on the judges' decisions to pick the 2 hot throbs, and Johnny, and to put them in separate weeks. So one was picked one week, and you know what I mean? I believe that they also pick heartthrobs, or they pick lesser singers, like some people that don't sing quite as well, because maybe they can be underdogs, and then maybe they'll step up to the plate better and make the show more interesting, and maybe the audience will, you know, whatever. See? That's what I think. But singing-wise, if it was just a singing competition, then no, I stand my ground. I don't care if I've been a toxic, horrible, immature person. I stand my ground that the ones that didn't get through, some of them can run circles singing-wise around both Johnny and Garrett. I wasn't blown away by Michelle either last week. But, you know, some of the ones I'm not blown away by, the judges don't put through, and, you know, whatever. This is a stupid show. I find it amusing people give the argument, because I see it all the time in comments. Not under my under other articles where I post comments, this, that, or whatever. People get ripped apart. Like, how dare you say anything negative about this person? I'd like to see what you look like if you're not, you know, if you don't like someone's looks. Or I'd like to see you do what they could do if you know, are unhappy with who was picked for a certain, like in the case of American Idol, certain, whatever, you know, certain, who was picked to go up higher and who was, you know, let go, this, that, or whatever. These stupid competitions. I'm sure these men are not concerned at all about me crushing their 8-year-old dreams. You know? Please. Oh, do I hate politically correct bullshit. I don't have a right to have my opinion or say I disagree with judges on anything because the person that picked, I can't do what they can do. So therefore, I'm not allowed to believe that judges make a mistake in anything. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're a motherfucking asshole who takes these friggin' things way too seriously. And I hate your politically correct bullshit with a passion. Vehemently hate it. Okay? Just like I hate these people. God, when I was in college, you're going to take away great literature because it triggers me. The classic, whatever, just pick a classic book that's not allowed to be in college curriculums anymore because it triggers the, what do they call them, snowflakes or something? That's bullshit too. You know what I mean? That's life. You don't discard great classics because something in it might trigger you. You know, I've been the victim of abuse, of molestation, of, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I'm going to think when I'm in school that we shouldn't study great classics that might talk about this kind of stuff because it's going to trigger me. Bunch of baloney. What a bunch of fucking baloney, Omerlou. Omer made me angry. He went out to pee-pee and then he pee-pees right in front of me in the house. You know he did that on purpose. Then he got punished. I put him out in the back deck for a while. That's just blatant. I just put you out to go pee and you went pee and you go pee right in front of me. You're doing that on purpose. Blatant. Yeah, I'm sickened by that too. What I've learned about that, where you nowadays in colleges they have to be worried. You have to be worried if you accidentally offend somebody. It's not even that you did it on purpose. You could be expelled for accidentally offending somebody, and you don't even know. That's why Joe says they're trying to make it where we're not allowed to say anything, where everything is a trigger for someone. Everything's a trigger word. We can't study the great classics because they might have something somewhere that upsets one person in the class. I mean, that's bullshit. It's also bullshit to say just because I can't do what Johnny or Garrett can do, and let's see you make it to the door. That's such a fucking invalid argument. People who don't have any talent at all still can have an opinion on someone else's talent. You fucking just whatever. It's such bullshit. Okay? It's such bullshit. If that was the case, then none of us if you don't have any talent, you're not allowed to have an opinion, basically. That's what this person wants. But that's what too many people want. Because everything nowadays is a trigger. And everything you've offended me, or some of the great classic literature offends me, and oh my God. I can't even imagine being in the colleges nowadays from what I'm hearing is going on there. professors have to be a fear of saying something because they might offend someone in the class. I mean, unreal. Unreal. And this person writing this to me and ripping me apart because I have the nerve, since I couldn't do what he could do, and how you're immature and you're toxic and you're crushing down an 18-year-old dreams, and who the fuck do you think you are? Who I think I am is a human being on this planet who has a right to her fucking opinion, you motherfucker. Okay? That's who I think I am. I have a right to my opinion, and I have a right to point out that even the judges said it. It's not like I didn't like this person just personally, but the judges were wowed by him. It's not like the judges haven't said themselves, you're not that strong of a singer, but we're going to put you through to the top 14 anyway, because we like how you look, or we like that you're the underdog, or you're the heartthrob, or whatever. It's what I'm thinking. Other people are thinking it too, believe me. I don't have to think that everybody who makes it to the top 14 is equally talented, asshole. Alright? You can say, well, you don't have to dedicate a video to it. No, I don't have to dedicate a video to anything. Alright? The video is a reflection on the show itself, not meant to be some horrible put down of this person who, you know, I don't think, I mean, he made it to the top 24. Alright? Obviously, he was good enough to make it to the top 24. I did not believe, and other people mirrored my sentiments, and I was backed up by things the judges said as well, that he should have made it to the top 14. That's my opinion. I'm hardly alone in it, so fuck you if you don't like it. It's just a stupid show anyway. Okay? I'm sure the person who wrote under the YouTube video, his YouTube video where he did his single and where he, you know, he did his solo and then he just whatever. Well, she wrote, you know, I'm sorry to say it, but I don't think he's going to become the next American Idol. He's not a strong enough singer. I'm sure she's going to be ripped apart. Who are you to say that? Let's see you do what he can do. It's such an invalid, irrational argument. John Rappaport has a field day with shit like that. Because it's not, people can't think anymore. It's not a rational argument to say you have no right to criticize this person because you can't do what he can do or she can do. That's bullshit. That's utter bullshit. That basically means if someone, I mean, the world full of people that don't have the talent of these, we're not allowed to ever criticize them at all. Because we can't do what they can do, we can't believe that someone can do it much better. Right? That's like... bullshit. Right on. You're the one who has problems if you're going to take a show like that so seriously and accuse me of having the nerve to, who am I to crush down some 18-year-old's dreams as I couldn't do what he could do. Oh my God. People put this, the producers put this show out there, right? There have been past years that I watched American Idol. I used to watch it religiously way back when, where I was pissed as all hell, where I know for a fact that but then the audience did it. The audience voted through somebody who just was, you know, I couldn't believe the audience eliminated someone that I just thought was so fantastic and put through someone that was mediocre. Comparatively, okay? It happens all the time. And that was audience vote, so I've been in shock before. I was hardly the only one, you know? But in this instance, that you can't really, that's just the audience, you know? But in this instance, I believe the judges are influenced by the producers. I believe the judges are kind of nudged in what, so I have to use someone as an example, you know? So who am I going to use? I'm going to use the singers who get through to the top 14. who beat out singers that are even the judges thought were much better. Okay. Oh, anyway, no worries, because there's no way in fucking hell, not compared to the Michaels and the Adas and the, no way in hell that there's, I don't know how far up they'll get, but there's Johnny and Garrett, they're not going to become the next American Idol. It's just, I would die if they did, but, you know, that'll be up to the audience, so you just never know. You know what I mean? But if they did, they're not even, you know, I don't see it happening. There are such mind-blowingly good singers in the competition who have reached the top 14, okay? That Johnny and Garrett both are the underdogs, and I don't see them now, but we'll see, you know. You never know. It's not rigged or fixed in any capacity once the audience starts voting, right? How could it be? We'll see. But again, you put this show in the air, I have a right to have my opinion about it. Everyone does. You say, well, you didn't have to make a video about it, but I make a video about everything. That's the thing. It's not like I don't make videos and I set out to make this video just about, you know what I mean? I have 10,000 plus videos. I talk about everything. This is just one thing that happens to be in my life only because my mom was here and wanted to watch American Idol and I watched it with her, and then she's not even watching it in her own home. Okay? Otherwise I never would have watched it, so we wouldn't even be talking about that. That's the thing. I was not going to watch American Idol ever again in my life. I was burned out on it. I watched every episode, every season, year after year after year after year, okay? The season where David Cook won, I fucking got up and literally cheered. I cheered because no rocker had ever won. You know what I mean? I had never been more invested in that show. I absolutely adored David Cook, and he went on to be a fucking superstar. I just thought he was so good. But because no rocker had ever won, remember the other David, I don't remember his name, but I thought he would win simply because a rocker had never won American Idol, okay? Not because I thought the other David should win, although the other David was fantastic as well. He's just a different style singer. So I was blown. Oh, Cade! That's right. Cade is that's his name? This year's rocker. He's fucking blow you away, mind-blowing, okay? And he runs circles singing-wise, and he's got the heartthrobness to boot around Johnny and Garrett. Sorry. I believe they were put through as weaker singers who were underdogs or whatever, okay? If you don't like me saying that, tough shit. Based on carefully watching the show, it's what I believe. That includes listening to judges' comments and carefully watching the singing and et cetera, et cetera. I 100% believe that Johnny and Garrett got through over much better than them singers, both male and female, period. So, you don't like my opinion? Tough shit. Tough shit. Tough shit. Oh, I forgot about Cade. Yeah. He's fucking mind-blowingly good. He's a rocker. Rockers don't generally win American Idol, though. Isn't David Cook the only rocker that ever won? Oh, I love David Cook. I remember, I still remember all these years later how much I love David Cook and how I couldn't believe it when he won. I was in absolute shock when he won. Plus he was sweet too. He was sweet. He wasn't like, he was just I liked him. I really liked him. I was very happy for him that he won. And this year, I adore Michael. Michael is so sweet and so humble, yet his chops are like unbelievable, right? Oh, I cannot believe what that person wrote to me, making me out to be just a monster, this horrible person. because I said what I know other people have mirrored my sentiments, and so have even the judges, that they're not as good as singers as the others, yet the judges put them through. Something's rigged there. Something. Whatever it may be, something is rigged, just a tad. Just a tad. Whatever. Now it's going to be up to the audience, but, you know. Remember, if I'm saying someone's not very good, it's not very good, because they're like, who are you to say he made it to the top 24? I know that! When I say not very good, I'm not comparing him to the world at large. I'm comparing him to that particular group of 24, you motherfucking asshole. Alright? Who are you to say that? You can't sing. You can't do what he... I know that! Again, that's what people have to understand. When you have a right to criticize someone if you're comparing them just to a small group, like in a competition, if you feel like you're not saying they're horrible, you're not comparing them to the whole world at large, you're comparing them, you're saying they're not as good as the ones who didn't get through. And I believe the ones who didn't get through know damn well that they're better singers than some of the ones that did get through, period. Okay? Oh my God, that's why it's an irrational, invalid argument when people say stuff like, who are you to criticize? You can't do what they can do. They made it this far, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm not saying they're horrible. Obviously, it's so impressive to make it to the top 24. You beat up thousands, okay? I'm saying just you have to take it in context. Just compared to some of the other singers that didn't get through. See? Not compared to the whole fucking world at large. Not saying they suck. I'm saying that they shouldn't at this point stage in the game. But basically, then there's nothing the really, really good singers could have done. If we're already going to put through ones that aren't very good, you know, they've taken those spots away because for whatever reason, like I said, I think it's slightly rigged. You know what I mean? Because Shannon blew them away every single time. Every performance blew them away. So, right? She did. But she doesn't go through. Why? Because she's not American Idol material? I don't know. But I know she blew them away every performance. You know? Which basically means there's nothing more she could have done, okay? I think Katie's fantastic, and there's someone who wrote, how come they put Katie through? She's such a nerd. And she can't sing very well. Oh, please. Yes, she can. You don't like her because she's weird. And sorry to be blunt, but there are going to be people that, even though Ada is phenomenal, once the audience starts voting, there might be people who don't like Ada because she's the drag queen or whatever, you know? It's just the nature of the game. But I don't think there's... I mean, in past years, not obviously when David Cook won, but there have been past years where I thought, once it got up there, I thought someone else would win. My one that I wanted to win did not win. Definitely not. Okay? But what does that tell you? I don't remember being blown away by Taylor Hicks, by Ruben Studdard. You know what I mean? So, and that's audience vote. So. And then there was one year, and I can't remember, so this same person ripping me apart over this Garrett thing, or Johnny thing, or whatever. This particular thing, it's the Garrett thing, because I put his name in my title of my video, so I removed that. There was 1 year of American Idol that I was in fucking literal shock. I think more shocked than even this. I didn't think the judges were going to put Garrett or Johnny Last Week or Garrett this week, because the judges themselves were saying that they weren't these men. I was in shock, okay? But the reflection on the show and the judges, not on Garrett or Johnny themselves, who seemed like very sweet, nice people. But anyway, there was 1 year of American Idol, I wish I could remember it, where I was in such shock at who made it to whatever, the top 12, top 2, whatever it was, one of them. But that week, he made it into that top 10, I guess. Is that who goes on tour, the top 10 or top, whatever it was. He made it into that top, and then he was eliminated. Alright? But he shouldn't even have made it to that. I was such shock that he made it that far. I didn't think he was very good at all. I remember thinking, how the fuck did this person get this far on American Idol? I remember thinking that. I can't remember who it was. But he didn't go that far up the ladder once we did audience vote. You know, because there's a lot of weeks of audience vote, right? Think about it, it's one eliminated every week, so it's a lot of weeks of audience vote, and he didn't get far, but he did get up that far. I think he wound up being in the tour, and I didn't think he was very good at all. Not compared to the ones who got let go, you know. Actually, I remember just not liking this person, but whatever, you know. I don't know. The judges had voted this person through to audience vote, and for whatever reason, and let go people that I was just like, what the fuck are you thinking, judges? And this was way back when. This is probably the original judges, Simon and Paula and Randy. I get a kick out of people like this person who ripping me apart and calling me a horrible person. You're toxic, and who are you to say anything? Who are you? You must be. How old are you? You crushed down an 18-year-old's dreams. Oh my God! Like he gives a fuck. Okay? He's a fucking football star, heartthrob, has a girlfriend, and he now made it to the top 14 of American Idol. Like, he gives a fuck about my stupid little video. You know, you are the one who's petty and ridiculous and cruel and, you know. Obviously, he doesn't even remotely suck, or he wouldn't have made it that far to begin with. I'm saying in comparison, some of those singers, as far as I'm concerned, are just as good, if not better, than the people who have already made it. Okay, that's how good they are. Some of them that were let go are just phenomenal singers. Phenomenal. Alright? And that's going to make me, and not just me, feel that it's rigged in some capacity. That they're told, the judges are told to put through some underdogs, put through some weaker singers just to make it interesting. I know it. Someone even backed me up. Instead of getting mad at me for saying what I said about Garrett in a comment, said, well, you know, he still has a lot to offer. Of course he does. And maybe, you know, that's what the judges wanted to do. Wanted to put through some weaker singers to have diversity, okay? But he wasn't ripping me apart or saying, how dare you say that? How dare you crush this 18-year-old's dreams? How dare you say he's not a phenomenal singer just like all the others? Like, fuck you, you know? Fuck that person who wrote that. And that is why I approved the person's comment. So I could give my response, my reply. That person's the one who's a cruel motherfucker, not me. I'm just giving my opinion on this show itself. And if you're going to give an opinion on the show itself, you have to use the contestants as examples, okay, of what you believe is going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I'm not singling out and saying, oh, this person's horrible and how'd they get so far? They wouldn't have got so far, okay? They are not, even this, but he's not. And neither is Johnny. They're not as good as some of the others who didn't get through, period. Okay? They're not. They're not. They probably know they're not. Maybe they're shocked they got through themselves. Who knows? I don't know. But most of the time, I think the judges get it right. You know? Even when it comes to who they send to Hollywood. Like that woman got so pissed. And she was hurting my ears. And she's like, oh, they just don't want good singers. And then they're like, well, maybe she could be like in I don't know, like a next Kristen Chenoweth or something. But she was hurting my ears. It's not American Idol. It was hurting my ears. You know, I had to go like this. And she probably can sing. This one, she didn't make it to Hollywood. And she was pissed off as all hell. Maybe she can sing, but the choice of song that she had for the American Idol judges, I mean, it was literally, I couldn't stand it, right? Neither could the judges. You could see them cringing. They wanted it to be over. But again, it's not that she's so horrible a singer. She's not American Idol material, and she maybe could sing something else, but she chose that. You know what I mean? Actually, it might have been an original of hers. I don't know. It wasn't American Idol top in any case. It's possible, too, on American Idol, they want singers they can mold and polish and watch grow, whatever. And someone like Shannon and Amelia are so fantastic, right? There's nowhere for them to go. I don't know. You know? I'm just using an example. Like I said, I also think that the judges are told to pick a certain amount of men and women, and I also believe that it's not random. It is not random that the first group of 12 and the second, they put certain people in both those groups. I do believe that. So you can't say this competition is just 100% fair or 100% about just singing. Okay? But I say something like that and I have someone ripping me apart. Who are you to criticize? I can't imagine anybody finding you attractive. Oh my God. Just because I give my opinion mirrored by the judges, mirrored by, I know, thousands of other people, I'm sure, out there, based on even just a few comments that I've trickled in on different things that I've read, that Garrett is not as good as some of the other singers that were let go, so I'm just, oh my God. Yeah, I couldn't believe he was put through compared to some that were not. But then again, as we've already pointed out, I haven't gone in my head here how many boys, how many girls, but 3 out of the ones that weren't put through, and that Garrett was put through, but they were all women. You know what I mean? So Effie wasn't put through Shannon and Amelia. So it definitely, I mean, if it was a choice between Ron and Garrett, then most definitely put Garrett through, okay? Again, I'm talking about compared to some of those other women were way better singers. But now I can't even remember. So who didn't get put through last night? I can just look and see. Oh, Alicia. Yeah. So Alicia, Effie, Amelia, Shannon, and Ron were not put through. So that was 4 women and just 1 guy, see? So it's possible, I haven't figured it out yet, but maybe they needed their quota too of men and women. I haven't figured out how that worked out either. Anyway. As we all know, the people, even if these contestants aren't stars yet, the people in any kind of, they are in the spotlight. And when you're in the spotlight, you are fair game to be criticized, you know? But I'm not saying they suck. I'm saying there were much stronger singers who didn't get through, okay? I've seen it happen other years as well. I've seen it happen years and years ago, where much stronger singers were let go in favor of not as strong singers. So it's nothing new, okay? Nothing new. If you're going to rip me apart for having the nerve to say something like that, that's a reflection on you. You're a cruel motherfucker to be saying it just because I feel that the American Idol judges this season put through some weaker singers and let go of some stronger singers who could find me attractive, and I'm a horrible toxic human being, and oh my God, that is so cruel. That's a reflection on that person being that cruel, you know? It's like, wow. You're mad at me for having an opinion. You're cruel. You're being specifically cruel to me. I'm just judging this person singing in comparison to the other contestants. Not saying that he sucks, but in the comparison to the other contestants, you know? Just like someone wrote under one of his things, I'm not going to apologize for having that opinion, but she said, I'm sorry, you know, because everyone's afraid. We have to be so politically correct nowadays. She's like, I'm sorry, but I don't think he's going to make it, he's not going to become the American Idol. Yeah, well, no shit. No shit. The producers of these shows, they want controversy anyway. They want people to be up in arms that their person didn't make it, you know? The person they were rooting for didn't make it through, and this, that, or whatever, so. Effie's fantastic. Someone was upset she didn't get through, but she didn't wow the judges, I don't think, Sunday night. But Shannon has consistently wowed the judges. I don't think I've ever heard them say anything bad about Shannon. So she's a phenomenal singer, but they probably just don't see her as being, you know, special or whatever. I guess. I guess. I wasn't sure about her when I was judging who the judges would pick. I wasn't sure. I don't see Maddie Pope becoming the next American Idol, because she doesn't, even though she's a phenomenal singer, she does not wow me the way some of the others do. That's the thing. I don't see her. And she doesn't see herself either. She's like, oh, I really wasn't thinking about this, and I thought I'd be happy just to get to the top 24, and, you know, so, I don't know. We'll see. This is hardened on cereal my mama has, so I can't put it in the dishwasher without scrubbing it off. It's not gonna Oh, people like that person make me so angry. That's why I wrote that's why I approved the comment and wrote what I wrote under it. Because it's just so ridiculous, you know? If you go on these singing competitions, you're going to be judged by the world, and there are going to be people who think if you get through that maybe someone else who was a much better singer was rejected in place of you. I loved Blaine, okay? I loved Blaine. So, you know. Blaine got pretty damn far, but he didn't make it to the top 24. You know? There were others that didn't make it to the top 24. That didn't even make it past the group prom. There was that one who had to take care of her 10 siblings or something, and she was one who one of the judges, maybe it was Luke, whatever, saying, I could see you making it all the way to the top 10 or something, you know what I mean? But she didn't. So. Yeah, when they pick, obviously, much weaker singers, like Johnny and Garrett, over much stronger singers, I am 100%, I'm hardly alone in my sentiments, I'm sure, considering people across the world are watching this, at least across the United States, that it's rigged in some way. I do, I believe that. And I can't state my opinion on that without using as examples who I 100% believe are weaker and stronger singers, you know? But it's not meant to be a put-down of the weaker singers. It's meant to be a reflection on that show itself, you know? This person either knows Garrett or just is just a jerk, you know? Viewing my thing as a personal attack on this 18-year-old kid, and who am I to do that? And unreal. Unreal. I know I'm a good, caring person, so, you know, to call me a horrible person and how can anybody be attracted to someone like you, that's just cruel. That's cruel. That's like... very, very cruel. Not surprised, Omerlou. Not surprised, Omerlou. Lots of jars now. You know me, I just make videos about everything. I didn't write this about contestants that I believe shouldn't have gone through over people I believe were much better singers on this show this time around. I didn't write it to start a war, you know? I didn't make the video to start a war. It's just, that was something in my life at that moment, and I like to play those games where I try to guess, and I was pretty damn good, you know? I forget how I did last week, but this week I got 5. I got 5 out of the 7 they picked. So that was good. Maybe I got 5 last week too, and I don't remember. I forget. I have to find my piece of paper. But it's all in fun, you know. It's like And there can only be one American Idol. I do not see these underdogs going that far. I mean, if the audience is going to judge on singing, but you never know. You never know. Again, it's not that they suck. It's that compared to the other ones, some of the other ones that were let go. Some, not all. I wasn't impressed with Ron this week, and last week it was that I don't remember him. I wasn't impressed with him either, and neither were the judges. And I wasn't surprised when he got let go. So sometimes I'm not surprised when the certain ones get let go, and other times I am, you know? I know I'm hardly alone. I can prove I'm hardly alone because there are people who get mad. There are people who get mad that really take this show seriously, and I'm like, that person can't even sing. Why'd they let so-and-so go? Whatever, okay? Well, if they made it to the top 24, they damn well can sing. They just are not as good. Okay. The others got let go, in my opinion. I'm not allowed to have an opinion, though. Because I can't do what Garrett can do, then I'm not allowed to have an opinion at all that there are much better singers than him in this competition. I mean, that's such an invalid argument. It's irrational. Like I said, John Rappaport would have a field day with that. Unfortunately, people use those types of arguments in much more important things in this life than fucking American Idol, okay? And they should all be really proud that they made it to the top 24. I mean, this is America. They could very well, these two, because they're such heartthrobs and they're underdogs, even if I believe every week that there are people who outsing them, they could wind up moving more and more up the competition. It's just the nature of the beast, you know. It's the nature of, you know, it's now up to the audience, and they could move these men up the ladder, but it won't change the fact if they go up the ladder and much better singers get let go, just because the audience decides that they're going to move forward, say Johnny or Garrett, okay, doesn't automatically mean that Johnny and Garrett are better singers than the ones let go. See, that's where we come in, where that's an irrational argument. Just because Johnny and Garrett made it through to the top 14 doesn't mean I or others are wrong in stating that Johnny and Garrett are not as strong as singers as some of the singers they beat out. See? But people who have irrational brains are going to think, well, if they made it, then they are better. Or if the audience votes them through, they are better. Not necessarily. No. Not necessarily, people. Not necessarily. Not even remotely necessarily. That's not how this world works. That's how an irrational person would think. Well, if the audience votes someone through, then they have to be better than the person not voted through, that doesn't get voted through. Yeah, bullshit. I've seen it. I watch this show when people watching this show now are not even, you know, weren't even old enough to watch it or whatever. You know what I mean? I've seen it repeatedly. Even the audience has voted through people that were not even remotely as good, you know. In past years, too, they've had judges saved, you know. Judges have saved people that were eliminated and different things. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't plan on getting into this show. It was not my intention. I started watching it because my mom wanted to watch it, and then of course, then I want to find out what happened. way to have that not happen would be like next year, you know, if the world's not annihilated before then, is to not watch in the first place. If I don't watch in the first place, I'm not invested and I won't care, just like over the past few seasons, okay? But I did watch a lot of seasons of this show. I watched every episode of it, every episode. And I watched the very first from its inception, this show. I used to love it, and then I just got sick of it. You know, I outgrew it. And again, I didn't watch it. I watched it this season only because my mom wanted to watch it. That's the only reason. And then I just wanted to find out what happened. You know, then I got hooked somehow, somewhat. Because it is interesting, and these singers just, they're phenomenal. They blow me away. You know, a lot of them do. They're just as good as the people out there who already made it. Some of them are just as good, not all. Last time I put my big stock pot pan in here, I can't do that anymore. I've been doing it with no problem, but this thing pops up in the middle and it got caught on it, so I'm lucky I didn't ruin the dishwasher. I like having a dishwasher. I don't want to ruin the dishwasher, so I guess from now on I'll have to wash that stock pot by hand because it doesn't really fit in there good, but I've never had this problem before, but that thing pops up, I guess, during the wash, and it actually, I had to get it off. It got caught on there. Still wash the dishes and everything, but I could wind up ruining the dishwasher. That's not good for me. Opinion you give, you're bound to piss someone off. I might get someone pissed off that I'm on the cop side in the case of that guy that and again, I'm someone who often agrees 100% it's a case of police brutality, but if you call everything police brutality, including when cops don't use a taser, don't use a gun, but have to beat down somebody on hallucinogenic drugs and totally butt-ass naked in the middle of the street, you know, I mean, what do you want the cops to do? But I love people saying, like, that is the case of police, you know what I mean? It's like, no matter what you say, you're going to piss somebody off, you know? I disagree. I have studied real cases of police brutality. Alright, and been as outraged as anybody else. But if you're fucking chose to take hallucinogenic drugs and you're fucking lost it and you're throwing your future away, but let's just set that aside. Or potentially, I don't know. And I have to hear them say, well, I guess our minds can't protect our bodies, so what are the cops supposed to do? Just take him by the hand and please, you know, he's on drugs, he's on hallucinogenic drugs, he's out of control, alright? They tried to get him to cooperate, he wouldn't. He's out of his mind. What are they supposed to do? He's a potential danger to himself and others. But the cops are being condemned because they used their fists on him to subdue him. I mean, it's just like anything. I've seen movies before where someone was out of control, I think on drugs or something, and they had to be knocked out in the movie. They had to be knocked out just for their own safety, see? This guy had to be subdued with fists by the cops for his own safety and for the safety of those around him. That's why the chief of police was like, you're viewing this in terms of, if you're in the context of an ideal situation. This was not an ideal situation. He was butt-ass naked, out of control on hallucinogenic drugs, and needed to be subdued for his own safety and the safety of those around him, period. I'm sure there are people rip me apart over that opinion, you know? Jesus. Yes, it does take away from the seriousness of legitimate police brutality cases if you call everything a case of police brutality. You're just completely ignoring the fact the guy was butt-ass naked and on hallucinogenic drugs. To you,